Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the next step when it comes to the elimination category of systems of equations. So it's just like one more layer, a little bit more complicated. So when we're approaching these problems, when we're doing elimination, we want to make sure that our variables are lined up, and then we're either going to add or subtract those equations so that one of those variables drops out. And so far, we've only been dealing with matching coefficients where they have nicely dropped out by doing adding or subtracting, meaning that the 2 matched with the 2 down here or the 15 matched with the 5 down there. So there was the same number that would drop out. What we see here is it's not that easy. There are no matching coefficients. So there's no way for me to add or subtract these together and to have one variable drop out. I'm just going to add or subtract those coefficients and end up still with those 2 variables in place. Remember, we're trying to eliminate one of those variables. So when we see these problems that we don't have matching coefficients, we need to stop and manipulate our equation so that we get matching coefficients. That's the name of the game, matching coefficients. So what can I do here to make sure that there are matching coefficients? And I'm going to use multiplication here. So the 2 and the 7, those don't match up very nicely because there's no number I can multiply 2 by to get to 7. But what about the 5 and the 15? Is there a number I can multiply to get this 5 to match the 15? And right now we're not concerned with the positive and negative numbers. That's going to come next. What we just want is to make sure that we have the same coefficient. And if you think about it, I can get up from 5 to 15 by multiplying by 3. So that's what we're going to do in this first step. We're going to multiply that whole second equation by 3. And once we do that, we are going to multiply every single term here. So I'm going to take 3, I'm going to multiply the 7x, I'm going to end up with 21x. 3 times negative 5y, well, that's negative 15y. And I'm kind of running out of room here, but when I multiply the 3 by the 17, I get my little cheat sheet here, 51. Great. So now I'm just going to bring this one back over. I didn't manipulate that first one at all. That's going to be 2x plus 15y equals negative 32. And now I have matching coefficients. So now I'm ready to go back to that original step that we talked about last week by adding or subtracting. And I know that I've got a positive 15 and a negative 15. I'm not going to subtract. I'm going to add those 2 together because I know positive 15 plus a negative 15 is 0. And that's what we're going for. We're looking for that coefficient of 0. So I'm going to go ahead and write that 0y. And then after we do this multiplication, we go back to those original steps of elimination. My x's are lined up. I'm going to do a negative 2 plus 21. That's a positive 19x. And then over here, I've got a negative 32 and a positive 51. And that's going to leave me with 19. So cleaned up a little bit here. I know I squished it on the right, but I just end up with a 19x equals 19. One of our variables was eliminated. That's what we wanted. Now we just isolate this x to try to solve. So I'm going to divide by 19. And I'm going to end up with x equals 1. Same as the steps from before. Once we figure out the value of one variable, we plug that in to the other. It doesn't matter which one, and we're going to solve for the other one. Let's just do the first one here. So I'm going to take this first equation, I'm going to plug x in, and I'm going to solve for y. So negative 2x plus 15y equals negative 32. I'm going to plug in at 1 for x, so negative 2, 1 plus 15y equals negative 32. Cleaning this up, 2 plus 15y equals negative 32. I'm going to take 2. Now I'm ready to solve for y. So I'm going to isolate it by using SAT-MEG. 15y equals negative 32 minus 2. So there's a lot of integer practice here. And if we need to rewrite this horizontally to help us, that's perfectly fine. Negative 32 minus 2. That is this going to end up nicely? A nice number for us? What did I do wrong? Here's what I did wrong. I got a negative 2 times 1 is a negative 2. So I'm going to actually add, not subtract. So this becomes a negative 32 plus 2. Sorry about that. And I end up with a 30. I did something wrong there. So negative 32 plus 2 is negative 30. And now I'm going to divide by 15, divide by 15. And I get y equals negative 2. And that is my answer. I've got an x value, I've got a y value. So my solution to this set is 1, negative 2. And that's it. Thanks for watching.